In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to get data from the National Map Viewer. Specifically, I'm going to get land use data that covers the area of the Salmon Creek watershed, which is the drainage area that drains the village of Brockport and passes through the village of Hilton in Monroe County. The National Map Viewer is an exceptionally useful online tool. It helps, it's becoming the single go-to place to get a wide variety of important fundamental data that's supplied by the federal government. And in fact, most other data viewers and data sources are being folded into the National Map Viewer over time. If you look to the left of the screen, you can see the categories of data that are available in the National Map Viewer, and these are categories. Within each of these categories, there's substantial numbers of data sets available. So National Map Viewer proves to be an extremely useful tool. It has a standard online map interface with a zoom tool and a pan tool, an identify tool, and a few other useful things that are commonly found in this type of map viewer. The most important thing at the beginning of a data download process is one needs to be able to find the geographic location of the data that you want to download. So you have to have some geographic understanding of where your data set is, what the landmarks are that define it, etc. I've already done a fair amount of study in the Salmon Creek watershed. It's very easy for me to find. So I just go right ahead and click the zoom in tool and first grab Western New York and then grab the area approximately from Brockport to Hilton. And I'm going to try and zoom in as much as possible because the more I zoom in, the smaller the area I'm looking at and the smaller the data downloads and searches will be involved. So I'm going to go and zoom in one more step and get the area that's north of Braddock's Bay, which is the outlet of the watershed, north of Braddock's Bay, west of the village of Brockport, and drag over south of Brockport and over to Braddock's Bay. And now what I have is a view window that approximates, with some room on the sides, the area of data that I'd like to download. I can obtain that. I can get a download box by clicking on the blue arrow pointing down and the download data designation. I have several choices here about downloading the data set. I can download national scale data sets that just happen to cover this area. That's much more than I need right now. I can download data sets by coordinate pairs that draw a box, and that sounds like actual work trying to go get the coordinate pairs. So I'm going to download by just asking for all of the data within the current map view. That's usually the most convenient way to do it. So I'll click on that data set and discover that I'm now able to choose which of these categories of data I'd like. And there's one called land cover. I'll select that and ask for next. And I discover that there are actually a variety of different data sets available. Data products, they're typically called, that are available within this geographic area. They come at different data resolutions, and my choice would always be to pick the data with the smallest cell size, which means it has the highest resolution. I don't want my data to be chopped up into 100 meter squares. I'd like it to be chopped up into 30 meter squares. Even after choosing 30 meter squares, I have a variety of choices. What I would like is to use the National Land Cover data set from 2011. So I'll search in this list for all the 30 meter data for 2011. And so I'm pruning down the data sets to choose from. I don't want, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data sets from 2011 at 30-meter resolution, now visible. I don't want what are called impervious area data sets. This is another product related to land use. It shows for every pixel the percent of that area of that pixel that is impervious. It's a very useful data set, but not what I'm after today, so I will leave that away. I'm not interested either in the canopy data, which shows for each pixel the percent of vegetative cover on that particular square. I'm interested in the traditional land cover data set, and I don't want a statewide data set. I would like to stick to 3 degree latitude by 3 degree longitude data sets. So I'll check that box, and that's the one data set that I'd like. Ask for next, and it will put these data sets into what's called my shopping cart. And at this point I only need to say checkout in my shopping cart, and this is a fairly obvious, and just because it's called a shopping cart doesn't mean that it costs anything. In fact, it doesn't. And I need to enter my email address into that and place my order. And I will shortly receive an email notification from the National Map Viewer that tells me that my data sets have arrived. And in this window I can see that my data sets are now here. And in this case, it tells me that I have two different hunks, standard pieces, standard geographic areas of data that cover my watershed, and I'll have to download actually both of them. It turns out in the long run that my watershed is completely contained within one, but my margins on the window that I downloaded from had a little extra on the sides. It's very easy to download. You just click on the click here to download button, as it says, and save the file. The file will be stored as a zip archive, but in a previous lesson we've already learned how to unpack a zip archive and download it. So that's a fairly standard process, and then the data is ready to go, as you will see on Thursday.